ring where the wrestling truth resides.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all know Stormy Savage from the Limitless Dojo. We've trained with him. He's had a few matches on Let's Wrestle and a few other places. So please welcome Stormy Savage.
Ooh, yeah. How's it going, guys?
Hey, buddy.
I was gonna say I looked at the mat and I was like, are we getting Stormy or are we getting Macho Man Randy Savage? And all I got was yes. I was like, shit.
All of the above.
It's all good, man. So, Cat's apparently doing cat things over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My wife just came home and she was asking for a blanket and she can't find it. She's getting mad at me. Sorry about that. It's in there, honey. I love
and Levi's eating waffles. So
and that's what gets me the most. It's like it's only a 2 hours difference, but you're acting like you're having breakfast.
Look, all right, motherfuckers. Look, I'll explain myself. I was at work. I was at work yesterday. I was listening to one of the podcasts that I listen to all the fucking time. And they had a new episode, and they started talking about waffles, and then I started craving fucking waffles. And we were supposed to have waffles yesterday for dinner, but then something came out, and we just went out and got fucking Friendlies down the road. So we just went and got fucking Friendlies for dinner. So today, she was like, "Oh, I know you're going to be on the podcast, but do you still want waffles?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want waffles. I've been craving waffles for 2 goddamn days now. So fuck you guys. Let me eat my dinner in peace."
I just got I want waffles now from my other side over here. So
yeah, fuck.
So let's get into our guest,
sorry,
guys.
buddy. Yeah, sorry.
Let's get into it, guys. So Stormy Savage, you started training for the Limitless Dojo last year, mid to last year, correct?
No, last January.
Last year, so right in the beginning of last year.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us why you decided to start your your wrestling training, I should say?
Well, I've liked wrestling since a very young age, starting with video games. That's what got me into it. And one day I just decided, you know what? Screw doing real work. Let's be a pro wrestler. Now I'm stuck doing real work still, but
we all are, man. We all are.
We are. Sadly, we cannot enjoy this as a living. We're all enjoying this as a hobby. Yeah. So, but yeah, no. So I'm assuming your favorite wrestlers is Hulk Hogan,
brother.
Exactly, Hulk Hogan.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
Stormy Savage is not Storm Hogan.
So, all right, man. I do have to ask. Like, I get the Stormy Savage thing. Anything like, are you just trying to do take parts of Macho Man and just make them your own, or what are you trying to do with the whole thing?
A little bit of everything.
All right.
Piecing shit together that I like. Put my own twist on it.
Yeah, honestly, that's the way to do it. I think that's all we've done for, we all take our favorites and we just kind of all right, for me, it's a little Taz, a little Shane Douglas, a little Demolition, and just, kind of go with that. So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So you're a beefy boy, as we all know and you can see. What is your highest weight of, let's just say, deadlift? What's the highest you've done?
I've only ever deadlifted 405, and that was last year.
Only 405, no big deal. Yeah, you just picking up Big Cat from the ground.
He's like, I want to lift up a car yesterday, but it's all right.
Okay? So I'll phrase it the way Cat wants to phrase it. What's the highest weight you've ever lifted? Period, not deadlift, but just period. What's your max out weight?
Well, both deadlift and squat I've done 405, but right now my bench press is only 380.
So 405. So just, Cat.
I've attempted 405.
Yeah, Cat, 100%
Cat and then me standing on Cat's shoulders. Just 405.
Yeah, I where I'm just like, cool, yeah, all right. Oh my God, I need steroids.
I think my hardest deadlift was back in school when I was training every week, and I only maxed at 225. So you're benching or you're deadlifting 200 more than I was at peak physical, like the peak I've ever been, and you still have 200 more than I do.
I mean, my warm up on bench is 225. So
look at this beefcake.
He gads, man.
Jeez. Yeah, no big deal. Man. No big deal whatsoever.
My shoulders hurt just looking at that. 90s, he says, dude. I'd be like,
I go.
There's a reason I throw suplexes. It's all core and legs.
Well, yeah. I with my build, it's hard to gain muscle, but I'm very lean, so I work out a lot with the less weight but more reps. So I don't try and lift a fuck ton of weight, but I do a fuck ton of reps.
It's good for toning.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, because I can't. No matter how much I eat, no matter how much I fucking do anything, it never seems. That was a good Ultimate Warrior style splash.
It was really
fucking good.
Actually, to be fair,
first time I ever did it.
It looked really good. It reminded me of Warrior Splash, which is good because there's a lot of people do the splash, but nobody does the splash the way Warrior does.
That was 100% Warrior. That looked really good.
And I'll be honest, man. Like a lot of the stuff, like a lot of your aesthetic too, like knowing you as you are, man. Like I get the Macho Man thing, but a lot of your stuff just it does breathe Warrior to me too. A lot.
Right.
It's funny because we have somebody out here that does out here. It's a lot of catch a sketch can, strong style, and lucha. But then there's that one dude whose whole gimmick is classic 80s. So he doesn't. He doesn't wrestle the style out here, but he does the classic 80s kind of style, which I feel like is kind of what I get vibe-wise from you, Storm, which is good because even back home, there isn't a whole lot of people that wrestle in that kind of style like they did back then. And it works for you. You look very much like an 80s physique.
Just a little less baby oil.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Your style is very unique. I like in your entrance. You coming out. You got the monster can or whatever. I think it'd be hilarious one of the times you just come out with a giant thing of protein or something like that. One of those giant fucking things that you can get. Just have your face covered in protein, ready to fucking go.
It's funny you mentioned that. One of my very first TikToks involved me doing a dry scoop of protein.
just very white protein all over this general area. Covered.
Covered.
Pretty much like Macho Man after a match.
That white powder is something a little different, though.
Speaking of protein, that brings up one of my memories. I wasn't there. I don't know if you were there, Storm, but do you remember the seminar with Scotty Too Hottie that Donkey took way too much fucking
I was there for that.
I was there. He took too much pre-workout. He's just sitting there
having the fucking jitters. Yeah. I wasn't there. I just heard about it.
Dude, Storm, you remember that though? Seriously,
I remember.
He's sitting there could you some, and all of us are like, dude, Scotty's talking. Calm the hell down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh.
And then Scotty Petrie went to make us get all blown up.
Oh yeah! All right, so run.
Thanks, Donkey.
Yeah, Scotty's like, okay, we're gonna do this 50 times. We're doing what now?
Then he saw us just barely able to do it 10 times. Okay, I'm enough watching you suffer.
It's I know you've you've trained the NXT guys, but we're not there yet.
Couple of the mat
I'd probably get into 5 and then be dying.
Well, the back and forth Jossie has this too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Scotty's do that, but instead of doing 20, Scotty's making us do it 50. And then he added drop downs and shit to it too.
Oh.
And I was like, I can't breathe anymore.
At 20 was a struggle. Oh, 20 is a struggle. I can't even imagine doing 50 and then doing drop downs, stuff like that. So Storm, like I said, you're pretty green. You just started out. We're all still pretty green, even though a lot of I think Andy's he's considered a vet, I guess. But
you're still being green.
Yeah, you're still technically green.
I love you have to be in for 10 years not to be green anymore. I'm like, I won't make 10 years. I'll be dead.
No, you won't be dead. I'm hoping to be at least 40 before before I retire wrestling.
I said a couple years back, probably another 5 years. So we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully at least get on TV once at least. And even if it's just like no, you're not even into that at all.
Don't even care. If it happens, cool.
How about you, Storm? What are you looking forward to? Like, what is your goals? Yeah, I know, like for me, used to be like trying to get on AEW, like my first goal until now that's just a shit show. I really don't care about being signed. I'm more focused on building myself on the independents than getting signed anywhere. What about you, Storm? What are you trying to look? What do you have a goal out for yourself to hopefully accomplish of either getting signed or just being a big name on the independent scene?
I would personally love to get signed, but obviously going up through the independents has been a lot of fun so far, even though I haven't been doing it long. I'd like to see where I could take this road, see how far I can go with it.
Yeah. Is there a special company that you're looking for, like WWE, AEW, TNA, or / Impact, or Ring of Honor? Is there one promotion that you're looking like trying to get yourself signed to, or is it just whoever's willing to slap the contract in front of your face that you're willing to take?
I mean, WWE preferably, for many reasons that should be obvious.
Right. I think a lot of us do want to get signed by WWE, but continue.
But if someone waved a TV contract in front of my face, it'd be kind of stupid to say no.
Right. Jeez, all the cats won't leave me alone. This is the other one. Jeez, Louise, showing off all our cats.
Can't be a Purr session without the kitties.
Dude, and I was not. The funny thing is, my name is Big Cat, and I'm not really a big fan of cats, but I got one. And then we were supposed to be homing the other two, but now I can't get rid of them because the kids love them. So now I have 3 cats that I didn't want originally, but at least they're good cats. You got any questions there, Levi, for Stormy Savage?
I had to step out, so I don't know what you've asked and what you haven't asked.
Just throw a question.
Throw a question out.
So I feel like we were just kind of talking and giving you the props of being kind of like 80s, like you gave that like 80s aesthetic. Is that kind of what you're like when you got into it? Were you just immediately like, like macho, like I love the Macho Man kind of thing, so like maybe I'll do something on those lines? Or did that just kind of, as you were training and stuff, did it just kind of slowly evolve into you being like, oh yeah?
Well, the day that I really decided that pro wrestling is what I should do, it all started at a bar. I was in Hampton Beach at Wally's.
As it does.
I showed up on a whim because my friend's like, hey, we're going to Honda Day the next day. Come down to Hampton. I said, okay, I'm in the area. Why not? I just showed up in basketball shorts, a white T-shirt, and pit vipers. That's all I had on. And I walked into the bar, and then someone out that I didn't even know was like, Macho Man. I'm just like, you right? Yeah, I'm there.
I can see it like, what's man? Oh yeah, brother, you know it, dig it.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Oh brother, they loved it when I broke out the Slim Jims.
Dude, you should get with fucking Warhorse and see if you guys can do a fucking Slim Jim.
Oh my god, that would be
hilarious.
That would be
hold up.
Funny.
Has anyone seen Warhorse lately?
Oh yeah, he dropped the.
He's not Warhorse anymore.
Yeah,
dude, he's not. The thing is, nothing like that.
I can't remember who mentioned it, but we were sitting in the dojo and Randy talked about it. He kind of had that break because of COVID, and then he came back now that COVID's kind of over, but like wrestling wise is back to normal more or less. And it didn't connect the same way it was before, and it finally got to the point where he was like I want to do something different. Like I don't feel like this is going to get me anywhere else. And so he finally killed it and started
that sucks too. because he was so over during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like you saw Warhorse everywhere. Like TikTok, he was getting viral on TikTok.
People like that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the pandemic did a lot of that stuff.
It was entertaining, but then once the pandemic ended and wrestling kind of returned back to normal, I guess he kind of just felt like the entertaining wasn't getting him anywhere else than where he already was, and it was one of those situations where he just kind of felt like it had been enough, and it needed to change in some kind of light. But anyway, back to Storm. So we talked about your favorite wrestler, and we've talked about like what company you're looking forward to looking out or trying to get signed by or whatever have you. But I want to know, modern day wise, what shows you keep up with? Like, are you watching, learning from, taking from, or just watching for entertainment value? And who are you looking at? Like, are you even looking at anybody more modernized, more modern day, picking things from them? Like for me, I mean, I know a lot of Dylan's stuff is old, but with me, it's like I'm still watching Bryan Danielson stuff. I'm still watching Malachi Black stuff. I'm still watching. So like modern day, is there anybody that like fits the bill for stuff that you're kind of like, like that's good, that's smart, like that could work?
I could steal that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So modern day wise, I don't really see too many guys. I see moves they're doing that I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm more like back to the beginning of the PG era per se, because that's when I really started watching. That's the era I kind of stuck on, those guys from that era. Like, I like seeing some Batista shit. Like, I feel like I should add a little of that to my moveset because he's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I'm a powerhouse. It only
That'd be
makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Some people don't get a lot out of modern stuff. I mean, I do, but that's also because especially modern wise compared to the old stuff, it's easier for me to pick stuff because pro wrestling is no longer about the being 6'8" and 300 something pounds and jacked out of our mind.
And to be fair too, we all have an era that was our era.
Yeah.
That's what got us into wrestling.
Right.
And that's what we pick stuff from.
Yeah.
Now, while like I grew up in the 80s and watched the 80s wrestling, wrestling didn't really like sink in my brain until the early 90s.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the stuff I remember and I grew up with. So
I mean, I got back into wrestling in the mid 2000s area, like 2014, 2015 WWE area. And that's when I really started rewatching. So that's why guys like the Wyatt family are like my biggest, one of my biggest things, because that was like, they were really hot. But when I got back into wrestling, I jumped back to the early 2000s and was watching a lot of early 2000s stuff. That's why like the Undisputed title is my all-time favorite title, because Undertaker is my all-time favorite wrestler, like in general, but I'm not 6'8", 300 pounds. I can't do shit that the Undertaker does. So when I got into the business and was always asked, who's your favorite wrestler? And it was always like, well, it's the Undertaker. It's like, no, it's not. Like, you can't you can't do anything. I can't do anything the Undertaker could do. I mean, I could do old school. That's about it. But so it's like, but my era for me, if I'm not talking inspiration, if I'm talking just fan base, is early 2000s. It's Brothers of Destruction. It's American Badass Taker. It's, that early era. But wrestling wise, it's like I have to watch a lot of the modern day stuff unless I go back to like classic Japan stuff, just because now we're in a spot where guys like me can fucking get somewhere. Because back then it was like, you had your like Rey Mysterios and your Eddie Guerreros, but even they were or your Chris Benoit's, but even they were fucking 6'2". Besides Ray, but Ray's a lucha wrestler. I don't wrestle lucha style, so it's like I couldn't take anything. I mean, I did a 619 once, and that was just because I was wrestling two guys that couldn't wrestle, so I did a 619 because it was the easiest fucking thing they could have taken. But so yeah, that's just my like my thought process on it, modern day wise, it's like I pay more attention because there's more for me to take from. But my era will always be like early 2000s WWE, because right after I got back into WWE, I watched a fuck ton of early 2000s WWE on YouTube.
Yeah, lately I've been watching a lot of the Attitude Era.
I love the Attitude Era.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not the biggest fan of the Attitude Era. Maybe because that was like when I was a child. Like my parents wouldn't let me watch it. But I'm more of the fan of like a bigger fan of the era of after, like the early 2000s, like from like
Ruthless Aggression.
Yes, the Ruthless Aggression era, when you had, I think the better DX would just Triple H and Shawn Michaels. They had amazing matches with Legacy. You had, Finley. You've had Hornswoggle. Bobby Lashley. They were bringing in the ECW that turned into Nexus. All that, JBL, Eddie Guerrero, those matches. John Cena coming up. Having those amazing matches with JBL, Big Show, Thugonomics, all the like that's my favorite era, just because of not only you see like the progression out of the Attitude Era, but you're also getting like, I feel like, a better entertainment wise and something like better story wise for me, because I think more of the Attitude Era was just throwing shit on the wall and seeing if it sticks, because they were doing up against WCW at that time. And but yeah, no, to me, I feel like anyone, like you guys were saying, anyone can gets inspired from like whatever like coming into, and they like latch onto that. Is there any like is there any matches you're looking forward to, Stormy, that like a fantasy fantasy dream opponent that you came in, you're like, oh, this would be fucking awesome if I could ever wrestle that. I think we all have one. Right now, I know it's kind of funny to say, but getting up to that level, just Ace Romero is one of my fantasy, as well as Rip Bison. I would love to work both of those guys. I think that we could do some killer shit, especially with me and Ace. We had that moment, which I was hoping would go somewhere in the Rumble, but we were doing stuff with the Lovecraft family, so maybe one day in the future that'll come back. But is there any like dream opponents that you have coming into this that you've seen some guys on the indies, some guys like, I would love to work that guy one day?
I think I'd like to work Rip Bison.
Yeah, I think that would be dope. I think a lot of us
fucking Love Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I ate that.
You ate the fuck out of the Love Gun.
When was this a recent
That
Yarmouth?
was my last Yarmouth
Yeah.
show.
Whoa,
right?
wait! You got Love Gun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got Love Gun.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was
see if I can
the
pull that
show.
up.
Yeah, it was the show that Bison returned, because he returned. He went after Channing, fucked up Channing's merch and stuff, and then the security went in to try and stop him. And Stormy was one of the beautiful security guards that Rip just fucking tore through. And Rip fucking Love Gunned the shit out of Storm.
I remember actually a couple years back, it was Rip, Ace, and Beef, and I was one of the ones holding Beef back, and Beef kept going, "Let me go, let me go, let me go."
Oh yeah, that was the show that Ace fucking picked me up and threw me across the ring in a body slam, and they cut the fucking cam. They didn't cut it to hard cam; they cut it to a fucking hand cam. So Ace threw my ass across the ring and body slammed me for no fucking reason.
Oh,
you know what show that was that we could see?
It was 3 Limitless shows ago. I think
it was January.
Yeah,
January,
because I left in February, so it would have been January show.
So was it the same day of Aiden Agro versus Danger Kid? That same promotion?
Yes,
I believe it was.
Yeah, because Channing had his thing during intermission, but then they come if you go on the show, they cut to intermission, but then it cuts like before intermission actually ends, because fucking Channing and Sydney run their mouth, and then Rick comes out and fucking causes chaos. But Yeah, Stormy was one of the ones that they chose for security, and he went in there and Rip fucking love gunned the shit out of him.
It's funny see it coming
because that was my last show, so I was in charge. I was one that didn't get chosen for security, but I was in charge of cleaning up Channing's shit because Rip threw Channing's merch all over the fucking place. So I was in charge of cleaning up Channing's shit and getting it out of the ring so we could go to the next thing. So I don't know if the cameras keep running, but I got in the ring and Rip was still in the ring celebrating. He was on the other side up on the turnbuckle. So I'm in the ring and I'm picking Channing's shit up real quick because Randy told me to go. So I get in and I'm picking Channing's shit up real quick. And all of a sudden I see Rip's fucking boot standing next to me. And I just looked up and he just looks down at me and he goes, "You better fucking run." And I looked and I went, "Nope," and I slid the fuck out of the ring. And I had a handful of Channing shit, so I slid the fuck out of the ring and I walked down the hard cam aisle and I was like, "Nope, no," and I was holding Channing shit up. I was like, "Fuck that," and I just walked to the back. I was like, I ain't getting, because I knew, because it was Ripper, and I knew that if I didn't get out of that fucking ring, he was gonna pick me up and I would have eaten the fucking love gun.
Dude, that reminds me of with Doug Weiser was in the crowd one of the Limitless show in Hermon, and Rip comes out and chases him with the chain, and fucking Doug Weiser takes off running really quick. It's oh, and starts running because he thought that Rip was gonna come after him. I fucking knew because it was Ripper, and I knew it was the way he looked at me, and I looked up and just made eye contact with him, and he just went, "You better start running," and I was like, "Fuck that." Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, those look familiar.
Ooh, boom. Right on the chain.
Nice body slam.
I don't know if Rip purposely did that, but he went right on the chain. There goes the merch. Skip it a little bit. Because Rip has a little bit before he cuts a promo before the security comes in.
All right.
Sydney said he was going to pay me well that night. He didn't give me
He didn't pay me. He didn't give me shit.
You trusted Sydney Bacabella to pay you? Are you stupid?
He didn't give me shit. Here it comes.
Well, that's a handsome man right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I forgot he kicked you in the face.
Oh my god! He straight up kicked you in the face.
Yo, I'm sorry. Lee's just sitting here I'm about to get hit.
Yeah, I don't. It's nothing against Lee, but I don't know why. They called Lee in because he was probably on the good. Had probably been on the good for half the fucking night, and was one of the. And it can. You guys sold it really well. Fuck that shit. But
we sold it.
He took it. The shoot.
No. I mean, before they even got in the ring when. Boom!
Oh, Dad.
He did get in the chest mostly.
Oh
yeah. Here it comes.
I wasn't expecting a kick.
Here it comes. Love God, Larry.
Oh God!
And you guys bitch about my Rainmaker.
I hate cement.
Jeez Louise.
Wait,
Let's see an instant replay.
I completely forgot he fucking nailed you in the face.
Oh my god. So Hess caught me at the last show. It just reminded me. He's like, "Could you guys stop bringing up the whole Lindsay Dorado thing?"
I know he got so upset about that. Well, not upset, but he's like, "Can you guys? I don't like talking about that. Can you guys please stop talking about that?"
Oh, you didn't get to the part. I'm pretty sure the cameras keep rolling. I don't know if
you
they
think so.
do,
Okay, let's.
I don't know. I want to find out though, because I kind of want to post the clip of Rip staring me down if they do.
Wee.
Man, Rip is lost. He's got so much more. He's not skinny, but he's gotten so much more
No, he's lean. He's
lean now.
Yeah.
Lean, mean, fighting machine. Testosterone and sex appeal.
It was so much shit to pick up, dude.
Troy Nelson. I wanted to work him so bad before he retired.
Oh yeah, skip the pro. I forgot he got the promo. Wait, back up. There it is. Yes, they did keep it rolling. So he was up on the buckle.
There it
is. You better get running, boy.
I was like, no. I was like, fuck this.
Oh, ooh.
I was like, nope, nope.
No thanks, I choose life.
Yeah.
I knew because my back was to him, and I was like, if I don't fucking move, he's gonna goozle me, and he's gonna love gun me. I was like, fuck that shit, I'm not taking that goddamn bump.
Speaking of bumps, I gotta ask, all right, so Stormy, you've had, how many matches have you had so far? 4. All right. So okay. every one of us has got a bump that we've taken, and we're like, Jesus Christ, never fucking again. What's your worst bump so far?
Honestly, I really can't think of a bad bump just right now. I took a bad one in practice once.
That counts.
That counts.
Okay. Have one for a show.
I took a suplex in practice once, and I got dislocated ribs.
Ooh. Yeah, that counts as a bad one.
Yeah. Damn.
It was bad.
Okay, I gotta ask, if you're not gonna bury on it, who gave it to you?
That son of a bitch, Samuel Matthews.
I was gonna say it was Sam, wasn't it?
Poor Sam.
Oh shit.
No, I get that, man, because like I've told people this too. Like, and Kat can back me up, man. So like my suplex is generally, if you give me anything, you're going. But I've had people not give me anything, and I got to muscle them over, and I'm like, dude, if I have to muscle you, I don't know how you're landing. So please give me a jump. It doesn't have to be a lot. So.
Man, I don't know why I'm racking my brain on this question, but I feel like I haven't. I feel like
same here. Like
this question, yeah, like I'm racking my brain going.
I'm trying to think because I've taken some nasty bumps too, like
so
the
first bump that came.
I've got yours. It's
first bump that came. Yeah, I think the first one that came into my mind was the concrete bump.
Yeah.
The suplex that we took. That was the first one that came to my mind. But honestly, it stung like a whip. Like that's what I tell people. Like a normal bump is like a thud. That fucking concrete bump, and it was probably because we were sweaty as fuck, and I didn't have a shirt on. But that concrete bump, it stung like a fucking whip. Like if you get one of those like plastic flimsy rulers and you whip it, like that's what the bump felt like on my back. I feel like if we're counting in training, it's got to either be the bump that I took that broke my ankle off a cat, or it's the sidewalk slam bump that almost paralyzed me.
The two I have is probably the concrete suplex bump. Jossie grabbed me, started trying to go. I was like, hold on. Go. Okay, now go. Because I wasn't set. The worst one I've probably taken was probably, I'm not burying Jason. He was still the old Jason. But it was a 4-way match. It was me, Jason, Trigger the OG, and Mike Montero. And Jason hooked me up for a suplex to come from the outside in. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to walk up the ropes and him suplex me off the top, which would look cool. But he got kind of overzealous, and instead of waiting for me to get to the top, he pulled me off the second. So when I landed on my hip, and like my back, like I landed like completely crooked on my hip, and you can hear me. It's a Vacation Land show. I'm pretty sure you can hear me on video go "fuck" real out loud. And I hear Jason Devine standing outside the ring. I hear Jason doesn't use my ring name, uses my shoe name. He's like, Andy, fucking roll out. So I roll out and hit the floor. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, that hurt.
Yeah, I think it's definitely I between the two, it's definitely the sidewalk slam bump just because it hurt more. With the ankle bump off the double stomp off a cat, it was so instantaneous. Like my ankle fucking hurt, but I did it and finished the match. So like it hurt, but I kept going until the match was over. With the sidewalk slam bump, I almost fucking that is the one bump in 3 years that I've ever taken that I've been like, I don't know if I can get up. Like, I took that bump and I was late breaking up the pin for the next spot because that was something that shocked my body and brain so hard. It was like, I don't know if I can get up. I don't know if I can move.
Yeah. I remember that spot was great, and you were pissed too afterwards. Oh, you were hot, but I can't like.
Which
I don't
one?
know.
The
sidewalk
slam? Oh yeah, I was hot
God.
on me because it was a shoe.
Yeah.
He picked me up and slammed me, and he gave me no. If you watch it, there's no time in between. I love Lee, but he picked me up and slammed me and gave me no time to get ready. He literally ripcords me up and down almost immediately. There was no time for me to be like, oh, I'm taking a bump now. So I landed sideways.
Yeah,
I landed on my
bad. Yeah, and the ring wouldn't have been so bad because
I would have taken it in the ring any fucking day if it was on the gym floor in Fairfield. I feel like your bump, Cat, it's got to be the bump that you broke your foot on. The one that
See, that wasn't even, that still wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, it sucked, but like I'm still trying to think like something that like, oh fuck this, I wouldn't take it again. But yeah, I've had some nasties, like even like the Dominator from Eric, like that didn't even suck. Like that was fine. Like, but like I guess I would say would be like the worst bumps that I've taken. Yeah, it was the hardwood hitting my foot off the floor, bouncing it and completely bruising the bottom of my foot, where apparently I had bone spurs in my feet. So I was in constant pain for about 4 or 5 weeks. I had to wear a boot, but I guess I get my worst ones would be the spot with the barbed wire door with Alexander Lee. That sucked, just because the original idea was that Lee was going to go through it. Pulling back the curtain here, and I told him, why would you go through it? Like, let's just make that the finish. You're going over, so I'll fucking eat it. But the thought period was that Lee was going to go through it. So the person who was building the door just said, fuck it. Well, it's good enough. Lee's going to take it. He doesn't give a shit.
Wasn't it Drifter that built the door?
Yes, it was Drifter. So when I went through it, it cut up how I took it, where he didn't make it gimmick, was like where my head was. So it sliced up my top of my head pretty bad, which I didn't start feeling until after the match. But that same match, I guess also the world's strongest on the floor, that just because it just jolted me. It's like, it's like, but yeah, that's
the only thing with that question is the question was like the worst bump you've ever taken and been like, no, fuck that, I'm not taking it again. For me, I've never taken something that I'm like, no, fuck that, I won't do again.
Because it doesn't go that far. That's the thing. It's like, you want to do that? Fuck you.
Yeah, like even the sidewalk. I'd take a sidewalk slam on a gym floor if I know it's coming. If I can protect myself, like, and the concrete bump, like I said, it was like getting hit with a whip, and it was like getting hit with a whip's like imagine having a sunburn and somebody whacks it. That's a really good way of explaining it. That's what it felt like. Yeah. Like getting a really bad sunburn, just fucking chopped. But even still, I'd be like, all right, I'll take that again. Like,
okay. I got a good one. Who's the worst chop you've ever taken?
Oh, there you go. Jesse Nolan.
Yeah, top 5, easy.
Jesse's got to go.
Oh my god.
Stormy, have you taken a chop from Jess?
I don't think I have.
Lucky. Weirdly enough, probably the 2 hardest chops I've taken, the top 3 hardest chops I've taken: Jesse, Nakoma, and Larry when he's not being nice.
I haven't got hit with the only thing that Larry's hit me without me noticing is a chair. Like I was setting up and he's just like, this would be funny. And hits me with a chair. I'm like, ow. And he goes, oh, that didn't hurt. I'm like, I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, it fucking hurt.
I remember my first Larry chop.
He breaks in. He breaks you in with if it's your first Larry chop, he makes sure that you know it's your first Larry chop.
Oh yeah, he took my shirt off for me and everything.
Oh yeah.
I bet you.
Funny is hard. I gotta put Danny or Rose. I gotta put Rose. But what's funny actually is I think Dragon King honestly goes up there for me too. He's the one that I ended the scramble with. And if you've seen the scramble match or seen the highlights, there's a spot at the end where it's just me and him. It's down to me and him, and we're gonna run a little spot thing. The thing was he was supposed to rush me, and I was gonna bypass him, and then we were gonna go into the spot. Well, I think he got a little lost because I like put my hand out to shake because we were both babies, so I put my hand out, and he just fucking slapped my hand away and goes wham and fucking hits me overhand right here, hits me clean, and he hits me, and I turned around and I went. You can literally see me smile as I turn back around on the video. You can literally see me go because I was like, every time somebody's hit me out here just a little bit extra hard, I'm like, you don't know the door you just opened. So he's like, wham! And I turned around and I just went, okay. And I turned back around and gave him a knife edge. And then I taunted him for him to run. And I think he still was trying to get there. So I taunted him for him to run, and he looked at me. He's like, "You want another one?" And the crowd popped. So I looked and I went, I looked at him. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!"
Actually, I will admit, Amber's chops are disgusting. Her forearms, I don't know what it was, always caught me right here. And every time, like, boom, I'd see stars. I'm like, ow.
How about that? Yeah, well, we've got hardest chop. How about hardest just strike in general?
Hold on a second. I bet Hess remembers his first chop from Larry.
Was that who's holding him?
Ben.
Ben.
That building echoed so good on stuff like that.
Yeah.
2, 3. Don't flex because you
are. Yeah, hardest strike in general, training or match wise, Storm. Who hits the hardest?
Well, I mean, every time I tend to take a clothesline from Maverick, it always hits me in the head pretty hard.
He's got to go lower. He always forgets that not everybody's as tall as him.
True, actually.
Dude, I got to the point I started jumping into it. If I worked Maverick, and he came at me with a clothesline and I was like coming off the ropes or anything, I would leave my feet like just a couple inches off the ground so he would hit me in the right spot and I could back bump.
Yeah, when I worked him at MEW, he took me right in the forehead.
I think I remember that.
I was like, whoa, I didn't have to sell this one.
Oh shit. Okay. We got you on here.
It's Ben, right? It's I think we all can agree it's Ben, right?
Yeah, mostly.
It's Ben, yeah.
Yeah, always Ben.
Always Ben.
So with that, it's like throw and pray to God, and he'll hit you back just as hard.
Yeah, right. So I know we were only supposed to keep you 20-30 minutes. We've gone a lot longer, but we've enjoyed your time, Storm. Do you have any plugs for us before you skedaddle?
I mean, it'd be cool to get a follow on my Facebook and Instagram.
At what?
Stormy Savage.
Okay.
And then my TikTok is Stormy_Savage.
I don't know if I have you.
Yeah, the funny thing is,
you should add me on TikTok.
He's got some gems of TikTok.
I literally pulled my phone up. Hold on.
I literally, like, as I was pulling up your Instagram, like, oh shit, I'm not following you on Instagram. So I immediately followed you when I was.
Wow.
You could have just covered your ass and shared your screen.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
Then Storm can leave could have left the show and then looked at his phone and been like, that motherfucker.
Yo, did you see when I did that to Samuel Matthews about a week ago?
Yes.
He's like, you now follow me? I was like, I finally saw you on TikTok or on Instagram. So, all right, man.
Oh, shit. Well, do you have any dates coming up?
I'm running security for MEW on the 7th.
Cool. We'll be there with you.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. All right, we'll see you there, and thanks for coming on, Stormy.
I appreciate it.
Bye, Storm.
See you later, buddy.
buddy.